Hello there, and this is a Daddy's Girl podcast. I am Donnis, the Daddy's Girl.
And I am Daddy, the Daddy's Girl's daddy. Everett. Yes, Everett Collins. I forgot about that. Yeah.
The dad. Simply.
That's for sure.
So today, we'll get right into it. We're going to talk about this man on my shirt here. I have several shirts of Michael Jackson. Today, well, we try not to date our podcast, but today is August 29th, and that would be Michael Jackson's birthday. Michael Jackson is a Virgo.
Okay, then. Virgo. That's cool. That's very cool. So is your mother.
So is my mother, yes. They say everybody has a Virgo that's very special in their lives. I don't know if that's true.
For me, definitely. My wife,
yeah.
Zelda is very special in my life, for sure.
Yeah. Mommy, Michael Jackson, my bestie, born in September. He's a Virgo as well. Anaya and Mommy have the same birthday, granddaughter and grandmother.
That's right. 9/11. Wow. My goodness.
9/11.
2 Virgos. That's cool. That's cool. So, we've had a lot of things that we were going to share, if we can remember them all. But, special moments that we, meaning the Isley Brothers and myself included, had the opportunity to spend some time with Michael off stage as well as on stage. And we would just like to, we remember one time the Jacksons and the Silvers were performing at Nassau Coliseum in Hempstead, Long Island, New York. And so we were all there. I was still in high school because they were real young, but the whole family performed, including the 3 girls at the time. So it was a stage full of Jacksons.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson stage, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they were on, what year was that? Do you remember?
I'm going to guess probably about the 70s.
Early 70s.
Yeah, early 70s. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was definitely before I went off to college. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So Michael was still young, too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Maybe 11, 12, something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Jackie being the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very, very fond memories of not only Michael and his humble character, but, the family in general. So I had the opportunity to work with his sister and one of his brothers, and so that was pretty cool.
Yep. So yes, in honor of his birthday, we're going to talk all things Michael Jackson today. So if you're looking for a Michael Jackson episode or something, this is it.
This is it.
Just like his last concert.
That's like his last concert. My. Well, so where should we start?
Right. Well, I don't have any stories about meeting Michael Jackson because I was never lucky enough. You left me at home, or I wasn't here yet.
You're right. She wasn't born enough. That's really what happened. But it's very... I
won't let you live that down.
Right. I am so sorry. But, man, just, I'm going back trying to remember when the first time that I met the family.
Mm-hmm.
And every year, or at least every other year, CBS Columbia Records would have these big shindigs and they would be held at our hotel in Manhattan. And this particular, I'm going to call it a record label conference, for lack of a better name. It was a dinner, and they were honoring different groups. And the group that they just happened to be honoring, there was three. But the reason we were there was obviously the Isleys are signed to Columbia Records before it became Sony as the distributors of T-Neck Records. So they had recently come out of a deal with Buddha Records. And Buddha, right, Buddha Records. Morris Levy. I remember him well. And they signed with CBS Columbia Records. And that's what started off the Orange label. Well, the real launching of the Orange label, T-Neck Records.
Mm-hmm. What year was this?
This would have been 77. Yeah.
And you had just joined them, or?
Yeah, I just officially started touring with them. In 1976, I had actually done some gigs with them, but they were only local, like Connecticut, New York, played Long Island University, the Brooklyn campus, and Hartford Civic Center, and things like that. Anything that we could get to by driving, not having to fly. Until the infamous day that Marvin gave me the call and said, "Hey, Kelly wants you to call him. I think he wants you to be a part of the group." So I remember that. I was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do that? That was in 76. The beginning part of 76, like in January. Like, oh my gosh, what is this? But anyway, that's where it all started. We were at this convention, CBS convention, and like I said, they were honoring the Isley Brothers, and so all of us were there in this huge ballroom, and they had these round tables, and they had little place cards where you sit, when you come in and all that. And I really wasn't paying attention. I was just like a sheep. Yeah, I was just kind of following where Ronald, Kelly, Rudolph, Ernie, Chris, and Marvin. So I was like, okay.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, right. Just happy to be here. And, people started coming in, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like the boss. That's Bruce Springsteen. I was like, what in the world? Hey.
A-list party.
Yeah, oh, big time. I was like, whoa, that's Clive Davis. Oh, man. Wait a minute. That's Maurice. That's the reason we're fire. All these people just walking in, I was like, wow. And there was a table right next to us, and nobody would sit in it. Nobody would sit at this table. I mean, it was huge tables, probably hold like 15 people at these tables. They were huge. And so anyway, the stars of the show were about to begin. Today we're going to be honoring our newest group, one of the newest groups to the CBS Columbia family. And right now we would like to welcome to the stage the Isley Brothers. Everybody got, and as the, I don't know what you would call them, but I'll call him the MC. Right when he said that, this whole wall of gold and platinum records came down. all the T-Beck records, all the hits, and It's Your Thing, and Twist and Shout, and Shout, and all the hits of the Isleys, the gold and platinum. The whole wall came down, so everybody was clapping and applauding and such.
Right.
They shared a few things. And then some other honorees that day. And then they said, and now we're going to, we're very excited that we were able to sign this group. And we'd like to welcome good old CBS Columbia, welcome to the Jackson family.
Oh.
It was like, I said, well, now wait. I turned around and here they come. Here they come. And they all came up on stage. And bam, there they were, including Joe and Catherine. The whole family was there.
Oh, wow.
Our whole entire family, including, of course, Michael and Janet and Reby and Jermaine.
They were getting honored too,
Yes.
like you guys.
As the new, they were talking about, all the hits they had at the other label. So we're glad to have them. Everybody got a chance to speak. We're so thankful for being here. It's so good to be with the family, the Columbia CBS family, blah, blah, blah. Then they came down off the stage, and guess where they sat? In that empty table next to us.
All right.
So or at least I didn't realize it, but I figured it out. All the tables were in alphabetical order. So I for Isley, J for the Jacksons.
Nice.
So that was the first time that we actually had a chance to shake hands. Hi, how you doing? Oh man, welcome. Yeah, whatever. So
And no TikTok, no cameras, no nothing.
no, none of it. No, the only people that
had
were
to be
allowed to
there.
be right, you had to be there, and the only people that was allowed to take pictures were obviously hired by CBS Columbia. And like I said, this was slightly before consummating the buyout of Columbia CBS and associated labels of Sony. But yeah, no, there was no TikTok, there was no cell phones, and none of that stuff. You couldn't take a selfie, none of that. If you didn't have a little Instamatic camera in your pocket, that there would be nothing.
Right.
And a couple other reporters were allowed in, members of the press, but that was it.
I wonder if we can find the pictures that those photographers took.
You know what?
I wonder.
I wonder. That would be great. We'll have to try to find them online. Maybe you can find them online.
Right. Help us out. So what were they wearing? Because like back then in the 70s, they wore like outrageous costumes and tuxedos.
They were dressed like no one else in the audience. Velvets and sequins, and they was pretty loud, but not all that, but a very young, loud, I mean, Jackie is older than me, but still in all, they were really dressed for the occasion. So they was loud though. They was not shirtless or anything like that, but it was pretty loud. Can't remember exactly what they were wearing. A couple of them did wear suits, but the suits were loud. Kind of as loud as when they were on stage with suits.
Right.
But they were not dressed the same. They were breaking out of that. That's for sure.
Okay.
That's for sure.
So Michael was older a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday, it's like 59, 69, 79. He was like 18, 19. Yeah.
Pre off the wall days.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Pretty off the wall. Yep. And I can't recall if the Jacksons' Victory Tour was before that. I think so.
Victory. That was the 80s, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it would have been slightly after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. He hadn't totally broken away
Right.
until Motown
Mm-hmm.
25.
Yeah. Yep. 82.
That was around the time, yeah, y'all were born.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So that was pretty cool. So
How did it feel like going home after that, or did you get on a plane? Like, what happened after? Like, what were the conversations like
oh man, well,
with Ann
unfortunately,
and Pop and everybody? Guess who I met today?
nobody knew because none of my family, and of course, I wasn't married yet, so nobody said bring your girlfriend.
Mhm.
But so I rode home on the Long Island Railroad, and that was it. I caught the A train down to Madison Square Garden and Long Island Railroad, zip right out to Amityville, and there was my yellow Chevelle Malibu waiting for me to drive home. So there was no conversation when I get in the house. Self asleep already. So
Mhm.
okay, I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow to tell my story.
Right.
You never guess what happened.
Good morning.
Yep.
And so that was the first time, and there was more times.
That's right. There was more times. The very next time, we were touring, doing Budweiser Superfest, and we just happened to be out in Los Angeles on the West Coast doing all these festivals.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing this huge Superfest with Chaka Khan, the Isley Brothers, Bootsy's Rubber Band, Parliament Funkadelic, of course, and the Crusaders and Kool and the Gang. I mean, it was, to sell enough tickets, you had to have a lot of acts. It's not like one act will sell out.
Right.
No, not back in those days. But anyway.
Like Coachella or something.
Yeah, right. It was none of that, you know. Or like Beyonce, she'll just sell out. Ain't nobody else on the bill but a DJ.
Right.
That stuff wasn't. Yep. But anyway, so we were getting ready to get dressed and, you know, to take the stage in about an hour. So we were all getting dressed or about to get dressed, and security came in and said, we were just sitting around shooting the breeze, and he said, we have a guest that would like to come down and meet you guys. And so Kelly said, can't you see we're trying to get dressed? You know. Kelly had a lisp. We're trying to get dressed and stuff, man. We're like, you know, okay, wait till a little bit later. And so he said, well, not really, because it's Michael Jackson of the Jacksons.
Oh, come on in.
Yeah, right. So I perked up. You know, I was like, oh, shoot, really? So he said, yeah, he just needs somebody to come up and get him. So Ronald's like, I ain't trying to go up there and get somebody. If you want to come down, you go on up. You go get him.
Okay.
Yep, no problem. So the security came down. Followed them to the elevator. We went up. We walking all through San Diego Padre Stadium, and we finally get to the room where he was. Just kind of empty room. Opened the door, and he's like, oh, hello. So he said, yeah, this is one of the Isley Brothers band members, and he came to get you. And there was two people in the row,
Mm.
Michael and Janet.
Oh.
Yeah, right. I mean, she was like Courtney's age, like real young.
Oh, Penny.
Oh, right. There you go, Penny. So I'll never forget it. She was holding on tight to his hand, and he was holding on tight to her hand, like nobody going to snatch her.
Aw.
And very soft-spoken man. He was just really, really humble. I guess back in the day, you might say he seemed like a mama's boy, but which he was,
Yeah.
But he was so, oh, it was so good to meet you. You guys are awesome. I said, well, remember we met the first time at the Columbia Convention when you guys first came on to Columbia CBS? And he's like, yeah, I do remember that. And he was so excited, just small talk in the elevator. We go back down and walk all the way into our dressing room. And everybody was like, all right, my man. Right, Rudolph. All right, my man. Good to meet you, Leo. Everybody stood up, gave hugs, and then this is my sister. This is my sister, Janet. It's like, oh, hello, Miss Princess, or whatever. It's like, well, and so he started asking questions and stuff like that. And, I always wanted to get a chance to meet you, not just see you, so this is like really cool, and just wanted to talk with you about a couple things. And then by that time, it was like, y'all better start getting dressed. It's sitting in there in robes and stuff. It's like, man. So, toodaloo.
Oh, no.
Right. So, they didn't say you got to leave, but it was kind of harried. But they continued to talk while we went start to get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
So, it wasn't until after the show when we were on the tour bus. No, it wasn't the tour bus. We were just talking like at an after party or something like that we found out that he wanted to see if it would be okay that he sang one of the songs off their album, because he wanted to do, and I can't remember the name of the song. It was off the Go For Your Guns album. I can't remember.
He wanted to sing it live?
Yeah, he wanted to do it on his project.
Oh, his solo project.
His project. That's all it was.
Oh.
And so they decided no.
A remake.
To say no. So they said no. And it's like, man, we just don't do that. We just don't give Isley stuff out. We learned the hard way. People stole stuff from us.
Right.
And it wound up being bigger than what we had originally did. He was basically talking about the Beatles.
Right.
who took Twist and Shout and just made it a smash, and then Shout, all these other, and he was like, man, we're tired of this. The Beatles, they would come and see us like every night, because they lived in Europe for a while. Instead of coming back and forth, they stayed there for like 2 years. But so anyway, that was the second time.
Oh, wow.
That we had a chance to meet.
And the song he wanted to do, Go For Your Guns?
It was off the Go For Your Guns. I'm pretty sure it was off the Go For Your Guns, and I can't remember.
Between the Sheets?
No, that was later.
Yeah.
That was later. Yeah. It could have been off of The Heat Is On. Yeah. But at any event.
What song do you think, if they did say yes, what song do you think Michael would sound good on if he were to
Man,
remake?
I would probably choose something like Voyage to Atlantis, because that just kind of sounds like something Michael would be interested in, you know.
Yeah.
And Ronald's way up there in the vocal range, so that's what I would say. But needless to say, guess what the name of the project was?
Off the wall?
Off the Wall. The biggest selling record. And I distinctly remember Ronald coming in, and he had a billboard or a cash box, and he said, "Hey, Kelly, look." Throws it on his lap. And then Kelly said, "Wait."
But
Man, we had a chance to be on, have a tune on this album. This thing is blowing up.
right. How much would they have gotten?
Millions. Just for one song.
Right. I just want to do it for the one time.
So he's like, win some, lose some.
Oh my.
They stuck to their guns. No pun intended. Anyway, so that was a mistake that had to just kind of grin and bear.
Right. Jesus.
Right.
And he never came back and asked like, hey,
Never asked again.
hey,
You sure?
this was your
No,
chance.
man. I got too much to deal with from the first release of Off the Wall.
Right. Oh, I got my own material now.
Right. So you're doing a Thrill album? You think you might want to do one on? No. For what?
Oh, Quincy got that handled. We got
Oh, yeah. Very much so. So,
Jeez.
well, just to change the subject, and I guess we could get back. There was a couple other times where we had a chance to meet. But I'm looking at some memorabilia. You would like to share some memorabilia that you might have?
Oh yes. So I think, did you give this to me?
I sure did.
This, and sorry if you're just listening to this and can't see it, but
True.
you can also watch this on Spotify if you want to see the video. But yeah, this is my Michael Jackson calendar from 1984, the original 1984 calendar. It's in pretty good condition. I mean, it's opened. I've been,
Thumbing through.
we've all been thumbing through it. But it's in pretty good condition. This thing is exactly as old as I am.
That's true. Oh my God.
Yeah, 1984.
84. Jeez, crackers.
So I guess this is my first gift ever. Like, see, this is Michael and Bubbles, month of July. Yeah, I think this is like, probably the closest I'll get to.
That's right.
Well, no, Rebe was the closest.
That's true. Rebe was
We
the
did
very
meet
close.
Rebe.
Yeah.
She came by the house, but that's another episode.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
But yeah. She came to our house and we had dinner together and oh yeah. Look at that.
And here, can we see?
Maybe a little closer. Yeah, so that's David Townsend on my left or right, not sure. And then me with my Sunrise t-shirt on.
Right.
Then Rebe. And then Pick Connolly, David Pick Connolly. So 3 members of the soon-to-be Surface.
Pre-surface
Pre-Surface.
Dave.
That's right. Or, I just got to give my cousin the floods. That's deep. All right, cuz Daryl, Daryl Stevenson. That's his T-shirt line. You're right. I was just looking in the monitor. I was like, oh, okay. Wow.
I'm just realizing you got that sunrise shirt on.
That's
You
right.
had to make that one again.
Yep, we're going to make that again. This time we're going to put our pictures on it. So I don't know. Maybe you guys would like to support that, and we'll mail some out to you.
Hmm. Right.
All right. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Coming soon. Let us know if you'd want some.
All right.
But Reeby's not the oldest child, right?
She is.
She is the oldest child and the oldest girl.
And then Jackie.
And then Jackie. Okay. Yeah, I always got confused.
Yeah. Yeah. She was the mama of all them kids.
Right. Oldest
We
daughter
had
problems.
Lenny, oh my gosh, during the week that she was in Williamsburg, Virginia. We got stories, like I said, another episode, but oh my gosh, we stayed up talking about all the things that, she would share. She was very open and, right on down to, how come you call, you don't say Catherine, but you say mother, but Michael would always say Joseph.
Ooh.
And then she went into the explanation of why that, and that was a Michael thing. But it was so good just, getting the chance to have her talk and share, and she felt very comfortable because there's no cameras. It's just a little family in Williamsburg, and she went to Farm Fresh, and she was afraid that she would get mobbed. And I was like, She would just walk around the neighborhood. Would it be okay to just walk around? Oh, yeah, of course. Just walk. Really? Okay.
So yeah, Cobble Creek in the 90s, y'all missed it. Reeby Jackson was just walking down the street.
Walking down the street, making records.
She walked by her house, didn't even know.
Sure did. Yeah. Yeah. The kids and the parents in the community, they knew.
Oh, they did?
Oh yeah, they knew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm trying to remember.
y'all told them.
We did?
Guess who's on me? Michael Jackson's sister.
Oh, of course we did. Gotta make the best of this.
Oh, we'll have to remember to do that the next time. Yeah, we'll share some pictures with you.
Yeah, we'll do our next episode can be Reeby.
And
Let's
then,
continue.
that's right.
Let's continue the Jackson.
Yeah,
The Jackson legacy.
the Jackson legacy. And speaking of Reeby, this was our first production meeting that Pick and I were going to be writing some songs or co-writing some songs with Reeby for her follow-up to Centipede. And so while we were performing on the Arsenio Hall show out in L.A.,
At Surface.
Surface, my bad.
Yeah.
Surface, not the Isley Brothers.
This is
correct.
how many years later?
1988. Yeah. So quite a while after. That was my my first time meeting Reeby. Knew about her other than seeing her, with the family. But she has a beautiful voice as we worked. But so anyway, she wouldn't call Pick. She was just very proper. No, David. David. David Conley. So so anyway, CBS flew her out to Williamsburg. We went and picked her up at the airport in Richmond and brought her back to Williamsburg and stayed in not a hotel. She stayed in Pick. David, which is right around the corner from us. But so anyway,
Yeah, she wouldn't have gotten any sleep if she slept over our house.
oh, what? Yeah.
No.
Well, you know how Courtney and I are on them.
Right.
Like, they want to stay up till the rooster crows. But anyway, the production meeting, Pick and I was driving all over in a rent-a-car. I think it was something like a Monza. It was like really small. So we was riding all over trying to find this. And he would, no cell phones. We would have to get out of the car, stop at a drugstore, call Reby on the home phone. Where are you?
Oh, this is in LA now.
Yeah, this is in L.A. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like, well, where are you? He's like, man, we're lost. But we're here. We're here in Encino. And we're like right down the street from this hospital. Right. David, you're like right down the street. Like, what? Okay. So anyway, told Dave where we were. She said it was like right down the street. And when we see a black mailbox in the wall, that's where it is. So here I am trying to drive and find this black mailbox in the wall that we had driven by several times back and forth. We just thought it was like a privacy wall. And then all of a sudden, I said, wait a minute. There's a mailbox in the wall right here. So David said, well, pull over. We pull over. He said, there's supposed to be a phone. So he gets out, and sure enough, the mailbox was inset, and on the side, there was a keypad.
Oh.
So Peek has a miraculous memory. He memorizes like people's phone numbers. I don't know what that's about. So he, she must have told him just punch the number in. So he punched the number in. And yes, can I help you? And yes, this is David from the group Surface. And we have a meeting with Reby. Hold on just a second.
Talking to a wall.
Talking through a wall. A mailbox.
Literally.
A mailbox. Okay, what is this all about? So anyway, all of a sudden, that dang on wall opened up. There's a huge cement wall.
Oh, wow.
It just went. And there's a security guard. Said, come on in. Here we come. With this little rent-a-car, rent-a-wreck, pulling up. And as soon as we come down the driveway, we see Rolls Royce. We see a red 450 SL convertible. We see a Jaguar. I was like, this is jacked up. Here we are in a Chevy Monza. But I was like, oh my God.
Got a Honda Civic around.
Yeah, we were like, this huge water fountain. It was like, what in the world? So this is the water fountain. And this is the house, which they call Havenhurst.
And was that the house in the American Dream movie?
Yes, I believe that was.
So they actually shot it at the house.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks exactly like
was
it. Yeah.
huge. It was a
Yeah.
huge house. And so we got out. And I'm standing there. I was like, man, I think I'm having a deja vu. So Piggy's like, man, you ain't had no deja vu. I said, no, serious, man. It's like I've been here before. So just then, Reby comes out the house. Oh, David! Right. It was like, yeah, this is Everett. Everett, remember our keyboard player? And so anyway, it's like, yeah. I said, man, I was just telling Pick that I was having a deja vu, like I've been here before. So she said, that's probably because Michael wanted to make it look like Main Street at Disney World. When she said that, I was like, that's it. That's what it looked like. English Tudor style. And on this side, he had this house like that had a bunch of video games and a little candy store. And then we just went inside, and Mrs. Jackson was sitting there in the kitchen, huge house.
Mm-hmm.
And Reby introduced us, and lo and behold, who comes downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Michael. And so Reby says, oh, and this is Michael, and then here we go. This is David Conley, with the group service, and this is, well, I'm sorry, what was your name? I said Everett, and he was just really cool. It's like, oh, so good to meet you. And I said, I just want to shake your memory. You remember when you and Janet came to the San Diego Stadium and you wanted to talk with the Isley Brothers about doing a song? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, I was the guy that came up to get you down, to bring you down. He's like, oh, man, wow. So anyway, he says, Mom, are you hungry? Did you ask him the thing? He's like, well, Michael, let them sit down first. Well, I just wanted to see if they wanted something. And what did such and such fix? And she told him, it's fish. She's like, oh, no. Do you all eat fish?
No, I don't eat fish.
Right. You don't.
I don't eat fish.
Well, I said, I eat anything. Man, pick it, man. When you're hungry, you eat what you got to eat.
Right.
We be eating truck stop food, man. Come on. So anyway, they said, okay, have at it. Bringing stuff out. They had like 2 of everything in the house. 2 stoves, 2 microwaves,
Wow.
2 refrigerators. I mean, it was just huge.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Absolutely. One thing that I definitely remember is we got a little bit of a tour, like the living room, obviously in the kitchen, the dining room, and there was this area that could have been like a den, and it had this. If I had to put a size to it, I'd probably say like a 8-foot long, like fish tank looking thing. I mean, almost 10 feet long, and it was enclosed in glass like a fish tank.
Right.
But it was Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs in the woods. Like, you're like literally looking at this thing, and they had the actual characters that they were using for the film, I guess.
Oh.
And he bought it.
Oh.
I said, wow, this is amazing. And Reedy's like, yeah, this is so cool. I said, wow, that's amazing. Then
Oh, wow.
Michael just kind of went upstairs, and then all of a sudden the door flings open. Then it's Janet.
Hey, girl.
Right. Yeah, she was like, hey, real teenager type. But so.
And this was 88, right? Isn't so like, yeah, this is Bad and Pleasure Principle days.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bad and Rhythm Nation.
All of that stuff was happening. The hype stuff. Let me tell you.
Height of it all.
Yeah, and so Miss Catherine said, come on outside. So we came outside, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is definitely Disney World or Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the bushes were carved as animals.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was like, oh my gosh. On all these exotic birds, within kind of like, I wouldn't want to call them cages, but shelters, so to speak.
Mm. Giraffes and lions and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it could have been a llama. But that jank was so big, I was like, what in the world? You got giraffes up in there? So anyway, she said, oh, we're getting ready, Mrs. Jackson, we're getting ready to have a graduation party. And I think it was either Jermaine or Jackie's. Who was T3? Whose kids were those?
3T?
3T.
Those are Jermaine's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them were graduating.
Mm-hmm.
And they were having a graduation party.
Right.
So we had a limited amount of time before everybody started coming in. I was like, man, we should just stay.
Right.
Because we get a chance to meet them all.
Right.
We had to do Arsenio. So
That's a big day. Arsenio and Michael Jackson.
Yep. That night we had to go film.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I think we had to film at like 6 o'clock. Anyway, so long story short, Catherine said, oh, I would like you to taste this. And so we said, what is it? And so Rebe said, it's Mother's Catherine Jackson's barbecue sauce. She makes the best barbecue.
Ooh.
So, and then she showed us the bottle. It sure enough, it was Catherine Jackson's barbecue sauce. Well, let me tell you, I put that jank on a hot dog. Whoa! I said, you got a winner here.
Right.
If it works on a hot dog, I know what it's gonna taste like when it's on ribs.
It's like Grey Poupon. You put that on everything.
Right. I was like, oh my gosh. So that was another time that we had a chance to meet. Shoot.
That's 3 times.
That's 3 times. It is another time.
3 times a lady. Oh.
Right. We played Madison Square Garden. And security said, we have a guest to see the Isley Brothers. And Teddy Pendergrass was on stage, and so was Slave, if y'all remember those. Oh, I'm like falling out of the camera.
Oh.
But anyway, we have guests. So would you like them to, come in? This is with the Isley Brothers. And so...
so like late 70s?
Yes, 77, 78, somewhere is in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them said, no, we're actually trying to get, dressed now. And they said, well, it's Michael Jackson.
Again.
Right, again. So we're like, whoa, well, just make sure that he can stand with us on stage and, take care of him. They said, oh, no, he has security. Yeah. Sure enough, we get up on stage and we're performing. And I look stage left, which is the right.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So stage left next to the monitor board. And who was standing there? Because he's not short.
Mm-hmm.
Michael is not short.
Right.
He's at least 6'1". And this young lady, guess who it was?
Janet.
Nope.
Oh.
She was a little lighter than Janet.
Mm-hmm. LaToya.
That's true. LaToya is lighter than Janet. Okay. No, it was Caroline Kennedy.
Caroline Kennedy.
And Caroline Kennedy is President Kennedy's daughter,
Oh,
since obviously predeceased the moment. But I was like, for a good minute, I was playing, but I wasn't all quite there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, is that who I think it is? Holy mackerel!
Michael Jackson and JFK's daughter is watching you play
Right, staying on
right now.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they were particularly watching me.
Right.
Anyway, they stood there
They
the
were right
whole
there.
show,
Oh, wow.
right at the monitor board. And so, of course, after the show, they come down, great show, blah, 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 hugs and stuff like that. And I was like, I can't believe this is Carolyn Kennedy. At least if I could shake her hand.
Mm-hmm. Gee.
But so we did, shook hands and stuff like that. But then we had a party to get to. We had a party, man. There ain't no time for small talk.
Right.
Everybody
Far
was
with that.
backstage.
Come
You
on.
name it. Who's who? Everybody was there that night.
Oh, yeah. MSG. Yeah.
What? Oh man,
Gee.
Ashford Simpson, man, Donnie. Now was Donnie Hathaway? No, Luther. Obviously, Teddy Pendergrass and all the members of Slave. I mean, it was just madhouse. Who's who in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Ed Townsend, of course, he was there. Don Corvée, Sylvia and Joe Robinson. Just friends. And
Mm-hmm.
so that night we were staying at the Statler Hilton Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my brother Andre, nephew Jerry, their friend John, and my cousin Jeffrey. I brought them in to the sound check, so they were just hanging out in the suite. So I wonder if y'all remember that. But anyway,
They saw the sound check, but they didn't see Michael, right?
no. Oh no, this was sound check, and then they just hung out. They stayed. We stayed because I ain't going back home.
Right.
Bought my uniform, and so I was like, stay right here, which we did. That was pretty cool. Then, after the show and all that,
Mm-hmm.
I get this call, get home, and this Ronnie Scruggs. Hey, Ron. He said, Everett, guess what? I said, what? Said, Michael Jackson is staying in New York. I said, what? So he's like, yeah, man. So I'm on my way now. I said, great.
On your way, what?
Right. I'm on my way to New York, which for them ain't but 20 minutes depending on traffic. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, shoot. I said, man, it's going to take me like 45 minutes to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I made it. He waiting. Meet me at the Waldorf Astoria.
They gonna crash Michael's hotel room.
Like, oh, shoot. The Waldorf Astoria, man, that's like iconic.
Right.
How many movies were shot there?
Mm-hmm.
Presidents, and first ladies. Gosh. Anyway, sure enough, when you get there, I was like, okay, Ron, how are we supposed to get in?
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, it's easy. We're just going to say, hi, my name is Ron, or Ronald, because his name was Ronald, too, from the Isley Brothers show last night at Madison Square Garden. And I understand that Michael is here. We just wanted to let him know we're here so we could come up and see him before he leaves. And I'm standing there. Okay.
This
if
is not going to work.
If this works,
Right.
let me sell this snowball in July. But anyway, they asked security, and they said, okay. send them up. So we didn't realize.
They must have thought Ron Isley was there.
Exactly. That's exactly what they thought. Maybe we all look the same now, but anyway, Ronnie does not look like Ron.
No, he does not.
But anyway, so we think we're there, and the elevator maitre d' or whatever it is, we get to the top, and he's like, "Well, this is almost the last stop. You have to, the stop's here." So we get out. Then there was a second elevator.
Ooh.
Right. So he said, you'll this elevator will come down and you'll be met. And so we're standing there. It didn't take long.
Were y'all sweating?
Yeah, to see when we were going to get thrown out.
Right.
Oh, man. So anyway, long story shortened, the door opens. There's another elevator guy. And he said, "Yes, sir. Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, we were just together last night. Michael came to see us at Madison Square Garden, and Miss Kennedy. And before he left town, we just wanted to stop. I'm Ron of the Isley Brothers, and yeah, so we just wanted to say hello."
You ain't Ron Isley.
Right. So he buzzes in and says, "Yes, we have someone that said that you were at Madison Square Garden, came to see them play last night. And it's Ron of the Isley Brothers. And wanted to know if they could see you before you left."
Mm.
Sure. So in we go in, and it's like, he opens the door. I'm like, okay, well, there ain't nobody in here. It's like, what in the world? So what we didn't realize is he had this huge suite.
Mm.
And this was just the lobby of the suite that we came off into the elevator.
Oh.
So, and then he just said, "Right this way," open the door. Now there's a few more people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we look and it's like, okay. They say, "Hey, how you doing? You all right?" We didn't know who a lot of them were.
Right.
But,
They were like, "Who are y'all?"
right. And it's like, so Ron says, "Where's Michael?" We just want to say hello before he left town, and then we're going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in the bedroom. He points at the bedroom. Ron is like, and I'm like, once again, a sheep. I'm just following him, his lead. He's the talkaholic.
Right.
So he's like, and the voice says, "Come in." And I'm like, come in. Oh, shoot. He's got like his bathrobe, and then, it's like satin, robe and all that stuff. And he's like, "Oh, hi." So he said, "Hey, man, we just wanted to stop. And, we were so glad to see you last night. And thanks for coming to check us out, with Isley's last night." He's like, "Oh, it was so awesome. The show was awesome. Like, the fire and the explosions. That was awesome."
Oh.
And, I'm looking around, and on his bed was like all these pictures. So evidently he was just sitting in there looking at pictures, passing time away while other people out there talking.
Right.
He's just in his bedroom, chilling.
Right.
I mean, and I'm almost sure Marilyn Monroe and they were old pictures that he was just looking at. I was like, wow, that's not watching TV.
Right.
He ain't watching TV. He's looking at these pictures thumbing through his legs. He's like, oh, man. So we don't really want to take a lot of time, but on behalf of the Isley Brothers, we just want to say we're like super happy for you. Your career's taking off. Hopefully we'll meet again.
Right.
And so that was cool.
And that was it.
Yeah, man. It was about a half hour. We was like, bang, zoom. We're out.
Don't overstay your welcome.
That's it.
Right. We're lucky you got in there.
Get it, quit it. That's right. We're lucky because I was like, any minute, man. Wedding crashers.
When y'all left, he was probably like, I thought y'all said Ron Isley was coming up.
Right. Who are these guys? Well, actually, I was at your house and Reby introduced me and you said, would you like to eat? And it was your nephew's graduation party. That's all I had to say. And he would have been, oh, shoot. And we had Catherine's barbecue sauce.
Right.
Now, wait a minute. Okay. But yeah, so happy birthday,
Wow.
Michael Jackson, all those years later. On
Must
the
be nice.
calendar,
Must be nice.
in 1984, like what day was his birthday in that calendar? Anybody have a guess? We know he's a Virgo.
August 29th, 1984. Let me see. August 29th was a Wednesday.
Wow, like tomorrow.
Oh, just one day off.
One day off.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All those years. Wow.
And this is the
Billie Jean.
Billie Jean video.
Wow.
That's August 84.
Wow.
Crazy.
And he was how old?
Let me see. 59, 84. I can't add.
Well, if you did 89, if you did 89 when you was 5, you just do 89 and then come backwards. So he was born in 59, 69, 79, 89. All right, now back up 4 years. So he's not 30. He's 26.
26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da! You didn't know we were
known fact
also...
about me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you did better than that in math. Yeah, it's being on the spot, right?
Right. Yes. I didn't have my calculator.
I'm surprised with my old self that I could do that counting backwards. Thank you, Dad. Tell me how to take shortcuts in math.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. So, well, I don't know. Is there anything else we need to talk about? But it was certainly great to share with you. I keep going in and out of the shot.
Right.
We got some new equipment, and so you'll be hearing some weird stuff. Please, bear with us. Like I keep falling out of the shot.
Right.
Oh my gosh. But anyway.
But yep, so that's it for our Michael Jackson episode. Yep, because I never got to meet him or anything. I just have CDs and movies and all that stuff. So, but that's just as good.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. The memories. The memories, great memories.
Yeah, just my whole childhood was Michael Jackson. So, yeah.
Sure enough was.
Sure enough was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and even now. So, yes, happy heavenly birthday.
Happy heavenly birthday, Michael.
Yes.
We certainly miss you. Yep.
Definitely. Greatest artist of all time. Gold.
Mm-hmm. And I know the family is probably holding a family get together in his honor, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, they've been posting like all day, just pictures of him and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
One thing I'm happy about, he was very, very religious and loved God.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. So there's a place in heaven for him.
Mm-hmm.
Smiling down.
Right.
So, well, let's do our close.
All right. So thanks for checking in. I guess next time we'll talk about his sister.
That'll be
Reby.
episode.
That'll be a good episode as well.
Yeah.
And yes, thanks for tuning in.
All right. Coming from Everett, the Collins.
And Daddy's girl, Donnis.
Absolutely. We love you. See you next episode. And check us out on
Facebook, Instagram, coming to YouTube, and we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
BTS, a Daddy's Girl podcast. All right, we love you. God bless.